How weak is Uber and Lyft's background check system? Well, apparently it's weak enough that you could be a well-known war criminal, but you can drive people around for Uber and Lyft. Did not expect that this was what I was going to be talking about today. Hey everyone, this is Kevin the Apptrepreneur, and oh boy. You know, I was editing my 5 videos today for my 3 different channels. You know, few here, couple on the Apptrepreneur vlogs, and one on my Kevin T. Rodriguez channel. And then there's like a couple of videos that's scheduled to go up on the Autograph Hound on Thursday. But I actually had to scrap one of them for this channel. Hopefully I can put it on the channel tomorrow, but it kind of depends if tomorrow's a busy news day, because if not, I guess I gotta just dump it on the vlog channel, because what else can I do? This was just way too interesting to not talk about. Because we have discussed on this channel over and over again that Uber and Lyft's background check system is a joke. It's an absolute joke, and you see criminals of all sorts of walks of life getting on the platform, and I've said you want to have fingerprinting to catch people with these serious crimes. Now, some people, you know, who I respectfully disagree with, but, you know, won't name their names because, you know, we don't have a beef or anything, disagree, think that fingerprinting would not help anything. But my question is, would fingerprinting at the very least catch a known war criminal? Because that's what's happening. There was a ex-Somali colonial, sorry, I don't know why I fudged on that one, facing torture suit, drove for Uber and Lyft. This guy was known for torturing and killing people. And yeah, perfectly fine for him to drive on Uber and Lyft. I wonder if this is what Dar meant when it's like, it might work for some people. I don't know. I'm still kind of peeved at that comment. But anyway. A Northern Virginia man who served decades ago as a colonial in the Somalia army Somali, I am messing this up all throughout, is facing accusations in a federal courtroom that he tortured and killed those perceived as enemies of the government. A civil jury in Alexandria heard opening statements and testimony Monday in the suit brought by a San Francisco human rights organization against Yusuf Abdi Ali of Alexandria, who was known as Toke when he served under dictator Siad Barre. CNN reported Tuesday Ali was driving an Uber in Virginia as of last week, and that he reportedly told the network's undercover producers he also drives for Lyft. The network reported in 2016 that Ali was working as a security guard in Dulles International Airport. Lyft banned Ali for life, and Uber suspended him pending an investigation after being contacted by the network, CNN's Drew Griffin reported. Because that's the thing, they never proactively screen anyone on these platforms. They never proactively, look at someone. They don't look at their history. Well, they don't fingerprint. And so then you get situations like this where CNN is calling hey, do you know there's a war criminal that's driving for your platform? And they're like, what? We had no idea. Of course you had no idea, you idiots. You don't actually look into who's driving for the platform because you need dirt cheap people who basically need a job and otherwise would not be qualified to have one. You just need them on the platform to replace the people who gripe and moan about the rates being too low all the time. Because you just want people who are willing to accept their dignity being swallowed for 54 cents. Although, that said, I'll give them this much leeway. Out of all the people that could wind up on the platform that have a problem, speeding tickets, parking tickets, serial RAPAS, a war criminal would not cross my mind. I actually almost have to laugh a little bit, to be honest, because it's like, oh, so someone who used to kill and torture on behalf of a dictator in a foreign government came to America and got on our platform. Easy peasy. I mean, that sounds like a Saturday Night Live sketch. That doesn't sound like a news story, and yet here we are talking about it. Let's see. The lawsuit was brought by a Somali man who says he was shot and left for dead by Ali during a 1988 interrogation. He says he survived only by bribing the men who were supposed to bury him. The lawsuit has been delayed for nearly 15 years, mostly by legal debate over whether a Somali national could bring suit in the U.S. over alleged torture overseas. I cannot even attempt to touch that one. In opening statements, lawyer Ben Klein with the San Francisco-based Center for Justice and Accountability said his client, Farhan Mohammed Tani Warfa, lived in northwest Somalia and is a member of the Asak clan, which was singled out for persecution under Barr. Klein and Ali was commanding the Army's 5th Brigade in that region when he rounded up multiple young men from Warfa's town in December 1987 for interrogation over a missing water tanker trunk. You know what? On a side note, if I make one more mistake, what I want you to do, I want you to restart the video, turn it into a drinking game. I'm going to totally own those mistakes. Warfa was jailed for several months and was regularly stripped naked and beaten, Klein said. He was also hogtied in a stress position called the MIG, which Klein said was so excruciatingly painful, so unbearable it would cause Farhan to go unconscious. Ali would personally supervise many of these sessions, Klein said. Okay, so anyway, this is like getting into like what happened. We don't need to go much farther, obviously. This is a bad man. Here's some images. Yeah, this is why I will always be thankful to be an American, because I don't have to deal with these things. And I feel sorry for those in the foreign countries that do. Anyway, it's not stated in this article, but in another article about this topic, they did ask Ali if it was easy to drive on the Uber and Lyft platform. And shock, he said, oh, it was a breeze. Now, he's obviously not driving anymore because they'd look really bad to leave him on there. But again, if they fingerprinted them, things like the court case would have probably come up. Things like, oh, he's been jailed for this would have come up. This is like probably the best example on why they should fingerprint everyone. Because you don't know when you're going to be hiring a Somali war criminal to drive your passengers around. It's so hard to say that and not laugh, because as serious as it is, again, it's like, what are the chances? That's just like, oh my stars and gars, as Tim Pool would say. This is just a crazy one. This is absolutely crazy. This was worth talking about way more than the quiet feature that Uber's launching. So, anyway, we're probably going to end this like right here. It's such an unusual story, I can't even find myself to get mad about it. And yet, it does frustrate me because we're talking about this because this is a unique situation, but we're also not talking about, like, I'm not making a separate video, but we might as well tackle it now. There was fairly recently an Uber driver who locked a couple passengers in his car and said, you're not going anywhere, with the intent to do who knows what. That's an American citizen, and he's on the platform too. And unfortunately, that is such a standard case that I don't normally report on it, because it's like you hear stories almost on a daily basis of people getting assaulted in Uber and Lyft vehicles. And amazingly, none of that was able to convince them to actually adopt a fingerprinting system or actually really take the safety of the Uber and Lyft vehicles more seriously. Hopefully this would do that, but it's such an unusual situation, I think they're just going to laugh it off and let it go. And I don't think a lot of people are going to be taking this as seriously as it should. I mean, God knows I'm not taking it as seriously. This is a really serious, scary thing. And it's just such an absurd situation. I'm just kind of chuckling a little. It's really sad, to be honest. But yeah, bottom line, whether it's funny or in an uncomfortable way, or it should be taken a lot more seriously, and this should be taken very, very seriously, by the way, Uber and Lyft absolutely need to implement fingerprinting. They're publicly traded companies now. You don't want stories like this on the news when your stock is tanking. Because this is the kind of thing that investors look at and it's like, well, people want to use a product that they feel unsafe on. Maybe they would. There was a joke when Six Flags filed for bankruptcy, like, well, will people really want to go to a theme park that's operated by a bankrupt company. And, I kind of joke like, well, would people feel comfortable with someone driving around for 40 cents a mile or 60 cents a mile, whatever it is, depending on where you live? And I guess the answer is yes, so I don't know. But anyway, what do you folks think about this story? This is a unique one. So I'd love to know. Comment below. Like, favorite, share, subscribe. If you enjoy my videos, consider becoming a Patreon member. It's totally optional, of course, but even as little as $1 a month goes a long way to helping the channel run smoothly and get access to my Patreon's exclusive blog. Also, if gas is getting you a little blue because of how expensive it is, check out the GetUpside app. You get cash back on every gas purchase. Check out the Apptrepreneur vlogs. We're uploading content every day now, and in fact, that scrapped video about the Uber quiet mode might actually go there tomorrow, depending on how busy the news cycle is tomorrow. And check us out on the Apptrepreneur Hangouts on Facebook. And as always, blame responsibly. Have a good one.